Can you tell me about Hurricane Milton? Yeah, and Alexa will tell you about Hurricane Milton in the past tense, which is remarkable. Even Amazon's Alexa can already tell you that Hurricane Milton has strengthened to a hurricane and has wrought destruction. Alexa's amazing, isn't it? It's really amazing how these tools work these days. Where I mean, even it's remarkable. Anyway, how many of you have tried that little skill? Of course, that's been going viral over the past 24 hours when you ask Alexa about Hurricane Milton. Before it even became a hurricane, it seemed to have already been updated in its database. It's remarkable stuff. How this all works. Well, it's already being called a record-breaking hurricane that's about to slam into Florida. People across the southern part of the United States are being told to leave and to brace themselves. Florida residents being told to get out right now. I mean, how many of you are watching right now that live in that area or planning to leave? Let us know. Sewers and water are already being turned off. Schools are closed, and more are closing. All of this is happening as early voting is happening. Absentee voting is already happening across the South. So we'll have more on that in a second, but here's the latest.
What is the seat view feature?
It shows the view from your seat. So if there's a pole blocking your view.
In the meantime, let's ride our video monitors down to the state of Florida. That state is once again in a path of life-threatening hurricane. We're talking about Milton that's now strengthened to a monster there in the Atlantic, a Category 5 storm. So evacuations are now underway just a day after Hurricane Helene wreaked havoc across the state, or days after. Governor DeSantis calling on all counties there to speed up debris removal ahead of Milton's landfall.
Local officials and their vendors must continue debris removal efforts for those areas that are in the potential path of this storm. My executive order requires debris landfill and dump sites to remain open 24/7 to accept debris from Hurricane Helene. We need as much of this debris picked up as possible. This creates a safety hazard, and it also...
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. And it was in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just another lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edifying. I know a couple of brothers went in on this. Actually, the Spirit moved on me to actually speak on this topic. When I watched this video, the first thing when I woke up, I watched this video. Because sometimes I go to sleep to, depend on the apostles, or sometimes I look at Redacted overnight and I go to sleep to it. Even though, you're asleep, but subconsciously you're picking up on the information. But anyway, it says, is the U.S. government controlling Hurricane Milton? And it says Category 5 storm, which they said that this thing went from a Category 3 to 4 to 5 within mere hours. Okay, I think it went from 3 to 4 within an hour, and then another 20 to 30 minutes, it went from a Category 4 to Category 5. And they stated that this is probably one of the most 4 deadliest hurricanes that ever hit that particular region since history. So they're definitely playing with the weather. As we know, that the weather program, you got HARP, okay, which you can look up what it means, the abbreviator for HARP. But we understand that Esau has technology out there that he's able to manipulate weather patterns, and I found that out years ago, but it made a lot of sense back in 2018 when I was working for this particular organization, and we had to clean the roads off, and it was a bad snowstorm that year. And when I was looking at the forecast, because we know that forecasters are basically predicted based on their models of when they're spraying the chemtrails and when they have the weather modification machine on, to say it in the layman's term. That's how they predict their forecasters, okay? It's not because the meteorologists know this, weather, that, or he can look at the farmer's almanac and predict that. No, it's because they're controlling it through some means of technology, which they've been able to do this since the time of the 60s. Okay, it was rumored and possibly speculated that during the time of the Vietnam conflict that weather modification was used in order to have victory over the war, so to speak. So, that's up for speculation, but it is reports out there going into how Esau used particular seismic events to create victories in wars. Okay, same thing about World War II, when they mentioned Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and I believe somebody said that they used HARP, but we don't know. It's a lot of theories out there. But reading the comments, hold on. Yep, it says, let's not forget Hawaii. They still have not recovered. Land grabs, mysterious lightning beams, resident spoke flashes of lightning. Oh yeah, going back to the account when we was plowing with snow that year. For whatever reason, it was like a particular vortex that was concentrated in a certain demographic of this city. Now up north it was bad, and out west it was pretty bad all over, but for whatever reason it was like the metro area got hit with the most highest concentrated of snowfall. And it didn't seem normal, you know. It seemed kind of weird. The air was a little dense. It was just something going on. And when I was looking in the clouds, because when we was working like to nightfall, it was like a light above the clouds, man. Okay, now I can't tell you what that was. I mean, it could have just been from precipitation, atmospheric conditions, but we understand that they spray certain chemicals in cloud seeding, or they spray certain chemicals in the atmosphere or the ionosphere to create certain effects and vortexes on different regions they want to hit. And a good movie to depict that was a movie called Geostorm, which came out in 2017. Pretty good movie, by the way. But they showed you how they was able to shoot things into the air. They went into space and they was able to create storms in places on the earth that wasn't really originally prone to that type of weather, you know. But it says yep, it says, I believe laser system reportedly detected from a Chinese satellite before fires started could be key to understanding the unusual behavior of the fires, which they call those DEWs, direct energy weapons. Okay, so we know that Esau is doing something, all right? Because ain't nowhere in hell you just get hit with Hurricane Helene. I believe like that was a category 4, maybe 5. I don't know. I'm not sure. But either way it go, they said it done twice the damage as Katrina with double the mile radius than Katrina. I think Katrina was up to like 300, 400 something mile radius. They said that Helene could have been up to 6, 7, maybe 800. Different reports out there. But nonetheless, they're getting hit with another one. But this is basically in the Tampa area, you know. Yep. So yeah, people are catching on to it, man. People are definitely speculating that there's some fishy business going on here. So actually, I have this geoengineeringwatch.org. I've been holding on to this article for some time, and I've went into this about a year ago, and just several videos, you know, on YouTube that people are going into the whole concept of cloud seeding. But you got people admitting it, you know, officials that worked in these particular departments of government, and they actually are coming out and admitting that, yeah, we use certain technology to manipulate weather. So when you getting all this rain, or you getting crazy snow or heat like last year, we seem to just be under a fucking heat wave, and it literally just concentrated on the Midwest. Makes sense because you got a lot of the crops that grow in the Midwest. So, but it says here, Geoengineering Watch will start to release a yet unseen footage of the filming of the dimming, but this is the first installment. But aluminum nanoparticle fallouts from climate engineering operations are building up in our snow, soils, and runoff waters. It says the levels are far beyond alarming, but lab test results of snow from the side of Northern California's Mount Shasta are a truly shocking example. But testing samples from this formerly pristine water source has revealed levels of aluminum that are so astronomically high that the meltwater can only be considered completely contaminated. So wow. So if you notice, if you go and get a blood test, or if you actually go get a hair test, you notice that we have a lot of heavy concentrated levels of lead, aluminum, and barium. Okay, and that comes from breathing in these chemtrails, man. Okay, you have some which is called barium oxide, which basically like fibers that sticks to the lung and respiratory tract, and it contaminates the bloodstream, man. So if you go get an actual real blood test, not from a damn mainstream doctor, but if you go to an actual holistic doctor and they do hair samples, they're able to measure the amount of cadmium and barium and metals in your body, man, and that's due from the shit that they're spraying. Like right now, I'm in my vehicle, in my car, And it appears to be a clear day, but it's not clear. It's a haze up there because of the chemicals. So we're breathing these things in, you know. Hurricane Nicole, random act of nature. Was that much more to the story? What agendas and objectives might Hurricane Nicole have served for those in power? Can winter weather be engineered from what started as a tropical storm? For how long after the initial event might the implications and consequences of engineered weather linger? Okay, and this is another 4-minute video, and I may post this in the description so you brothers can, you know, you can understand what it is. And hold on. So you brothers out there can have some insight on what you're looking at. But anyway, it says chemically nucleated snow events are wreaking havoc on forecasts, ecosystems, and human infrastructure. Going back into what I was mentioning the other day, mentioning a couple of years ago in Salakia, I'm still kind of tired. Mentioning a couple of years ago when we had that polar vortex while we was out plowing with snow, it just didn't seem normal. Even I believe, what was it, 2 years ago when they did all that shit down in Texas when the grid went down. But it says chemical ice nucleation cloud seeding processes are the primary component of ongoing and expanding global climate engineering operations. It reads that numerous forms of frozen material have characteristics that are very different from anything a naturally occurring weather scenario will yield. It reads artificial nucleated snow is often 15 to 20 degrees colder than the surrounding air temperatures, which can often do cause material to stick to whatever it comes in contact with. Chemtrails, man, you know, like I said, the snows, the winters ain't been normal, you know. So this shows you here that this fucking devil is really playing with the weather. He's trying to play the Most High. All right, so let me get a preset real quick, because I looked up devices and it came up in the Bible 24 times. But also I want to go to the book of Job 9:24. It says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? That's right. And we understand that this so-called white man, the biblical Edomites, they are the wicked that the Bible talks about. Okay, and the Most High has given the portion, or he's given the world's rulership into their hands for a particular time. So they're able to do whatever they deem necessary to rule it, but it's still through the left-hand means of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, because going back into this Hurricane Helene, they believe that it was based on a lithium and a land grab. Same thing that happened in Maui with those fires. Okay, if you look at the Maui fires and the maps, it was like a concentrated source of energy on particular demographics, not hitting the rich. Like Oprah, she has a mansion out there, but yet she wasn't touched. Okay, several celebrities out there that lived out in Maui, but their properties didn't get ransacked, but yet just the mainstream, the population, you know, a couple of millionaires here and there, people that's living their lives, and they get ran over, all because it's a land grab. Same thing with the lithium hills out there in the Carolinas, man. Okay, we speculate that. But anyway, this is the book of Psalms 10:2. It says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices which they have imagined. And we know that this heart machine cloud seeding program, which is done through the United States military, we understand that this is part of their devices. You know, same thing with Operation Sea Spray, you know, Agent Orange, all these different chemicals they spray in the air. It's all part of Esau's weaponry. It's all part of his sword, you know. Here, Psalms 33:10, it says, the Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught, and he maketh the devices of the people of none effect. Okay, because, you know, the scriptures tells us that we should eat poison and no thing will harm us, man. You know, or drink the poison of serpents and nothing should hurt us. Or we drink poison and eat poison, we can still live through it. Now, yeah, our bodies are being totally jacked up. You know, we have health issues because of it. But overall, it's the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai that keeps us in somewhat decent health, because we have a mission to undergo. We have to complete this walk. Okay, Psalms 37:7, it says, rest in the Lord, wait patiently for him, fret not thyself because of him who prospered in his way, because of the men who bring wicked devices to pass. All right, and like I said, these programs that they're using to manipulate the weather, like, you know, we have overly hot summers and overly mild winters, man, and we barely have a spring and fall. Okay, like right now we're in the fall time and we're getting basically spring temperatures, man. Then eventually that fall weather just gonna drop off and it's gonna go from fall to winter within a matter of weeks. So by the end of this month, we're probably going to be looking at 30, 40 degrees.